Yo! Ho, ho, ho! Cincinnati! Bro, tell me I did not just see that. Are you kidding me, man? The Cincinnati Bengals just lost to the New York Jets? What the hell's going on out here? How did the Bengals lose to the Jets? They dismantled Baltimore in Baltimore, and then they proceed to lose to the New York Jets? I cannot believe this. What makes it even more interesting is that they lost to a quarterback that was having his first ever NFL start. This guy, Mike White, who might just be a created Madden player, he comes out here on his first ever NFL start and drops over 400 passing yards and 3 touchdowns to help his Jets beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you kidding me? Now, of course, he had the 2 picks. Hey, it's his first game. Don't really worry about that. The man dropped 400 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. That's insanity. For his first start, he does that on Cincinnati's defense. Cincy's defense gave up over 500 yards of total offense and 34 points. Bro, when's the last time the Jets have put up 30 points? I don't think they put, I think like they said it earlier, it was like 20 straight games or 20 to 25 straight games where the Jets haven't scored 20 points in a game. And you just happen to be the defense to give that up on? Bro, they haven't had a quarterback throw for over 400 yards since Vinny in 2000. How the hell did Cincinnati's defense do this? My God. Now, Burrow was great. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He was doing his thing. He only made 1 mistake. That was the interception. But all I can say to Cincinnati here involving this situation is congratulations, man. And it feels like I'm being condescending, but I'm serious when I say this, man. You guys have proven that you are a legit team in the AFC North. You are coming for that divisional crown. You are a threat. Now, for me to say this after a Jets loss, it's kind of ironic. Of course, I said that after you beat Baltimore. I've been giving you guys your credit for like the last 2 weeks, but like, me saying this specifically isn't about the AFC or the playoffs. I'm talking about the division itself. You coming after the divisional crown and making the playoffs. You just proved it. Because Baltimore and Pittsburgh have done what you guys did today. We've done it so many times. It's laughable. And what am I talking about? Simple. You guys played down to your competition. You guys were up 31-20 in the fourth quarter against the New York Jets. There's no reason you should blow that lead. You were up 31-20, and you give up 14 unanswered points, and you end up losing the game. You just played down to your competition. Not only that, for much of this game, the Jets were keeping up with you. You were playing down to your competition. There's no reason the Jets should be able to keep up with this team. You are far too good and far too talented to have the Jets keep up with you. It just goes to show you played down to your competition. Credit to the Jets, though. They played a hell of a game. For them to be able to pull that off with a quarterback playing his first ever NFL career start, that's something special. Credit Salah and that whole coaching staff for what they pulled off today, because that was not easy. Like, that was just credit to the Jets. I don't want to take away from the Jets' win by, like, piling on Cincinnati's failures, but, man, Jets, congrats to you. You found a way to win this game. Now, I'll say this, though. That helmet-to-helmet penalty they call on Hilton, that was not a penalty. And if anything, the receiver lowered his shoulder, and that's what caused the head-to-head contact. When the receiver lowered his shoulder, Hilton was already on the ground going like this. So when the receiver lowered his shoulder, that caused the helmet-to-helmet to happen. That's not on Hilton. So that was an awful penalty. It was on 3rd down, so because of that penalty happening on 3rd down, instead of it being 4th down and short, meaning they would have to punt the football back to Cincinnati, they end up picking up a 15-yard penalty, increasing it to a 1st down. Now all of a sudden, Cincinnati is going to have to use their timeouts. It was a bad call. It was a terrible penalty, but it happens. I tell you, the refs constantly do this all the time. Nobody should be surprised. At the end of the day, you got to go out there and make stops. And they had opportunity to make stops. They just couldn't get it done. Credit to the Jets for being able to pull it off. But yes, Cincinnati, man, let me tell you, Baltimore and Pittsburgh have done this plenty of times. Hell, you guys have done this a couple times when Andy Dalton and AJ Green were with you guys and you were competing. You know, there are just times where in the AFC North, where you would just be a great team that's competing. I've seen it with Baltimore. I've seen it with Pittsburgh. You'll be a great team that's competing. You would have a signature win, like Pittsburgh would somehow beat the Patriots or Baltimore go on to beat the Patriots or Pittsburgh or something like that. They would have a signature win, and then they would proceed to immediately fall for a trap game or play down to their players. They would just completely mess up. They would fall for the trap game or play down to their competition, and all of a sudden they end up taking an L on a situation that should not have happened. And it's funny how I see it happen time and time and time again with the AFC North teams. Hell, that's exactly how Pittsburgh ended up losing the division in 2018. They played down to their competition. That's how they lost to both the Broncos and the Raiders. It happens all the time. Baltimore's done that a couple times too. Hell, we played down to you guys back in 2017. Final game, 2017. In order for us to go to the playoffs, we played down to our competition. There was no reason for us to be down 17-0 in that game, but we were. We played down to our competition. It happens. And, you guys just played down to your competition today, and you ended up taking the loss. Now, of course, this is a rough loss, but it's not the end of the world. Obviously, you guys right now can easily get back in position for what you need to do for the most part. You are 2-0 in the division right now. You've taking care of both Pittsburgh and Baltimore. You've got Cleveland coming in next week. Take care of them. You're 3-0 in the division. You have a fast start against everyone else. Baltimore is 0-1. Pittsburgh just increased to 1-1. Cleveland is 0-1. So, yeah, you beat Cleveland. You can make them 0-2. You can really get them out the way. And then you could be closer and closer to fighting against Baltimore. You have the edge. You are 3-0 right. Well, not 3-0. You are 2-0 in the division right now. You win next week, you'll be 3-0. So if Baltimore slips up once and loses a game, and then you guys win and you guys have similar records and tie, right off the bat, you're back in first place. So it's a rough loss. It's a tough loss. It's not something you really want to deal with for the most part, especially you have no business losing to the Jets, but it happens. You just let it go. It's any given Sunday, and this just happened to be the Sunday where a guy named Mike White, which, by the way, that's a funny name. But you know what? Let's give that man his credit. That's a funny name because it rhymes. Like, it's just a rhyming name. I like rhyming names. It just works, but, like, man, I can't really believe I'm so happy the Cincinnati Bengals lost to the Jets. You couldn't have asked for a better bye week for Baltimore. I mean, like, let me before I even get back on topic with the teams, Baltimore lost to this Cincinnati Bengals team last week. We fell to second place, and we head into our bye week second place in the AFC North. Coming into this, we were in our bye week, so Ravens fans were just hoping that it would be a situation where it would be most beneficial to us, and that's exactly what happened. Cleveland lost to the Steelers, so they end up going to 4-4, which definitely helps Baltimore down the stretch because we have to face off against Cleveland 2 times in 3 weeks, so that helps out. And then Cincinnati, who was at first place, just took an L today, so now they're back to second place. We get to move up back into first place, so we'll be coming out of our bye week first place in the AFC North with a chance to continue to hold that title if we can beat the Vikings. But yeah, it's crazy. But back on topic, man. It's crazy. A guy named Mike White, who was having his first ever NFL career start, managed to drop 400 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns on that defense. Insanity. That's not supposed to happen, man. That's not supposed to happen, Cincinnati. But, it happens. It is what it is. It's a bad loss, but you'll be fine. So Cincinnati drops to 5-3. They're back to second place in the AFC North, but they don't really have much to worry about. They're doing so well in this division that, honestly, if they beat the Browns next week, they'll be in great position to try and take this division back from Baltimore. And since they've already beaten Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they already have the edge against those teams. So they've set themselves up nice. Beat Cleveland, and they have an early edge against all 3 of these teams. That's all they need to focus on next week. So move on from this loss. Get ready for the game next week. As for the Jets, congrats. I have no idea what the quarterback situation is going to be moving forward because Mike White doing this is very interesting, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. It's crazy, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if Wilson will be back next week or they'll go with Mike White. I have no clue what's happening with that quarterback situation with the Jets, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I got to say for this. It's a tough loss for Cincinnati, but they'll bounce back. The Jets get an amazing win. But, yeah, not much left to say in this situation. With that being said, that is all I got to say, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!